So should you and your spouse share a bank account or keep your accounts and finances separate?
That is the question.
In this video, we're going to share the pros and cons of sharing a bank account, what we personally do, and which option may be best for you and your spouse. Now, whether you are already married or about to get married, this is definitely an important item to consider, as it could affect the trajectory of your financial future, as well as the quality of your marriage overall. So let's get into it.
So first, let's start with the benefits of sharing a bank account. First item up, it gives a sense of transparency to your relationship and to your finances. Transparency breeds intimacy. Having a shared account makes it easier for you both to see exactly where every dollar of your money is going. There are no secrets. This can also help down the road when planning and saving for larger expenses, especially things like vacations or even when buying things for your children.
And the second benefit is convenience with paying the bills. It's a lot easier to write one check and have it come out of one shared account. You don't have to worry about who's paying the rent or the mortgage versus who's paying the utilities, so on and so forth. With a shared account, you both are.
And next, it simplifies the budgeting process. When you're working from the same account, you can work from the same budget as opposed to having to have separate budgets for different needs in different areas. It just simplifies the process.
Number 4 is that it streamlines your records. So when you're going through certain legal processes like filing taxes, especially if you're filing jointly, or in cases of an emergency, you wouldn't have to go through the hassle of trying to access your spouse's account, so you wouldn't have to worry about knowing their PIN number or their passwords. All of those details are eliminated when you're both on the same account.
You do just have to remember your own passcode.
Of course, you gotta know your own.
And last, it builds a sense of unity. Having a shared account really can be a symbol of trust between you and your spouse. It can add another layer of connection and unity to your relationship when it's handled correctly.
So when it comes to the potential cons of sharing a bank account, the first is a lack of control. So with separate accounts, you don't have to justify every expense. You have full autonomy over where your money goes and the purchases that you choose to make.
And some people like it that way.
Yep.
Next con is that there's no privacy. It's harder to hide things for one another, even if those things are positive things like trying to get a surprise gift for your spouse's birthday, for example. It would be a lot easier if you had separate accounts.
And the third con is mutual accountability. So when you have a shared account, one person's money decisions affect the other and vice versa. So if one spouse decides to spend a little frivolously, then you're both gonna feel the blow.
Sneakers, watch of the month, unnecessary insurance.
There's no such thing, Bo.
And this is the case as well with debts. So if one of you comes into the marriage with $60,000 of student loan debt, like this guy, then you're both responsible for paying it off. And if you want to see exactly step-by-step how we paid off our student loan debt, we're placing a link to that video up in the cards right now that you can check out, as well as in the description below.
Now, there's evidence out there that shows that the majority of couples do share at least one bank account. And more so, the couples that do tend to report that they are happier and healthier in their marriage.
Now, as for what we do, we actually share several of the same accounts, to be honest. This system of having shared accounts has really worked for us. However, we want you to know that the simple act of sharing an account in and of itself does not guarantee that you will be happy together. And it doesn't even mean that you will manage your finances well for that matter. And ultimately, you both have to discuss and determine what works best for you.
Now, we get it. Some of you may be very adamant about not sharing an account with your spouse. There will be no mixing of funds here. If so, ask yourself, why is this? Is there a lack of trust in the relationship? Is there something that you feel like you can't be open with your spouse about? Do some exploration to see what that potential cause could be. Is it a past situation that's happened between you and your fiance or spouse that's caused you to deem them untrustworthy? If so, this may be something that you need to work through together, especially with the help of some professional counsel. Even if you choose to keep your accounts separate, the end goal should always be to work together as a team.
Now, in addition to your general checking and savings accounts, there are some other accounts, 3 in particular, that you and your spouse should definitely have when you're married.
Financial planner taught me this.
To learn what these accounts are and why you need them, click on this video here in the top right. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in that next video.
There will be no...
What voice was that?
I don't know. It went into some grandma.